Most EVs don't fail because of the battery. They fail because of everything around it: the inverter, the charging hardware, the software, the thermal system, the parts nobody mentions at the dealership. 6 EVs are beating that trend so consistently that reliability analysts are calling them outliers. This is what separates them from everything else on the market right now. Why EV reliability is different from gas cars. Before we get to the list, let's clear something up, because most people are measuring EV reliability with the wrong ruler. When evaluating a gas car's reliability, you're considering engine wear, transmission problems, and exhaust system failures. That's the traditional framework, but none of that applies here. EV reliability is a completely different conversation. It's about battery degradation rates, how much range you lose at 50,000 miles versus 100,000. It's about inverter and power electronics durability, because when those components fail in an EV, the repair bill can be brutal. It's about charging system stability. Whether the onboard charger holds up after thousands of charge cycles. It's about software reliability, which matters more in EVs than almost any other vehicle because of much of the driving experience runs through code. And it's about recall frequency, which tells you how well engineered a vehicle was before it left the factory. That's the framework we're using today. Not horsepower, not 0 to 60 times, long-term ownership integrity. Number 6. Hyundai Kona Electric. The Kona Electric doesn't get the headline. It doesn't win design awards or dominate EV forums. But ask owners who've been driving one for 2 or 3 years, and a pattern shows up that's hard to ignore. This platform has quietly become one of the most proven affordable EV setups on the market. The battery retention data on the long-range version, the 65.4 kilowatt-hour unit, is strong. Owners are reporting minimal degradation well past 50,000 miles, which puts it well ahead of what many rivals show at the same mileage. The drivetrain architecture is simple by design. Hyundai didn't overcomplicate it. The single-motor front-wheel drive setup has fewer failure points than dual-motor configurations, and that simplicity shows up in the ownership data. Low maintenance frequency, low unplanned repair rates. Yes, there were early battery recall issues with the first-generation Kona Electric. Hyundai addressed those. What matters for buyers today is what came after. The corrected production runs have shown consistent stability, and the updated second-generation platform has been even cleaner. It's not exciting, but reliable rarely is. What also helps the Kona's case is its real-world ownership cost. Routine maintenance needs are low. The regenerative braking system reduces brake wear significantly, so owners are going longer between service visits than they would with a comparable gas vehicle. And the 12.3-inch infotainment system, one of the most user-friendly in the segment, runs on a stable software platform that hasn't generated the kind of update complaints you see with some competitors. For buyers who want a dependable daily driver without the premium price tag, the Kona Electric keeps making a strong, quiet argument. Number 5. Nissan Ariya. Nissan has more real-world EV miles behind them than most any other mainstream manufacturer. The Leaf launched in 2010. That's over a decade of learning about battery chemistry, thermal behavior, charging system durability, before the Ariya ever hit a showroom floor. And it shows. The Ariya uses conservative battery tuning. Nissan deliberately built in more thermal headroom than the minimal specs require, which means the battery operates well within its stress limits during normal use. Charging behavior is stable. High-voltage system failure rates are low. Thermal management is refined. With a 91 kilowatt-hour extended range battery available and DC fast charging up to 130 kilowatts, the Ariya is no compromise on capability either. The 87 kilowatt-hour usable version can push over 300 miles on a full charge in ideal conditions. It earned a 5-star Euro NCAP rating and a top safety pick from the IIHS for the 2023 model year. Reliability data from owners who've crossed 40,000 and 50,000 miles, showing what Nissan's experience in the EV space was always supposed to deliver: a platform that just keeps working. It's not the most talked about EV on the market. It never was supposed to be. Dependability was always the goal. Number 4. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 is built on Hyundai's dedicated eGMP platform, meaning this wasn't a conversation from a gas architecture. It was designed from the ground up as an electric vehicle. And that fundamental difference changes everything about how the components fit together, how heat is managed, and how the charging system performs under load. The results back it up. Battery temperature control on the Ioniq 5 is genuinely impressive. The thermal management system keeps the pack operating in tight, optimal range, whether you're fast charging in summer heat or driving in sub-freezing temperatures. That consistency is one of the biggest contributors to long-term battery health, and the Ioniq 5 handles it better than most competitors in its class. Fast charging consistency is another strong point. The 800-volt architecture allows the Ioniq 5 to charge from 10 to 80% in around 18 minutes under ideal conditions. But what matters for reliability isn't peak charging speed. It's whether the charging hardware holds up after hundreds and hundreds of sessions. Owner data is showing that it does. Drivetrain issue reports are low. Owner satisfaction is high. The Ioniq 5 managed to push performance and innovation forward without sacrificing the durability that matters at 80,000 miles. That's a harder balance to hit than most people realize, and Hyundai hit it. Before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay connected with the latest content about EVs. Number 3. Kia EV6. The EV6 shares the eGMP platform with the Ioniq 5, but it's earned its own place on this list because the real-world ownership data is building its own independent case for long-term reliability. Battery health metrics on EV6 units that have crossed 60,000 and 70,000 miles are showing strong retention numbers. Charging hardware is holding up, and major recall history? Minimal, which tells you the engineering was thorough before the vehicle went into production. Kia backs the EV6 with a 10-year, 100-mile limited battery and EV system warranty. That's not just a marketing line. It's Kia putting money behind the durability claim. Manufacturers who aren't confident in their long-term failure rates don't offer coverage like that. The 800-volt charging architecture, the same as the Ioniq 5, means the EV6 can hit 80% from 10% in about 18 minutes on a compatible DC fast charger. The NHTSA awarded it a 5-star overall safety rating, and owner forums that would normally surface electrical gremlins or charging inconsistencies at high mileage are, quietly, not showing much to worry about. The EV6 is building exactly the kind of reputation that takes years to earn, an EV you can buy and stop thinking about. Number 2. Toyota bZ4X, Subaru Solterra. Toyota's entire engineering philosophy is built around one thing: longevity. The brand didn't become synonymous with reliability by accident. They built systems designed to outlast the competition and then proved it over millions of vehicles across decades. That philosophy carries directly into the bZ4X and its nearly identical sibling, the Subaru Solterra. The battery management system on both vehicles is conservative by design. Toyota didn't push the chemistry to its limits to squeeze out an extra few miles of range. They calibrate the system to operate comfortably within safe parameters, which protects the cells over the long run. Software stability is another strength. Fewer complex electronic layers means fewer points of failure. The software environment is clean, stable, and refined. Both vehicles come equipped with robust driver assistance systems. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 for the bZ4X and Subaru EyeSight for the Solterra, and both share the same solid platform built at Toyota's Motomachi assembly plant. Yes, there were early production issues. Wheel bolt torque concerns surfaced shortly after launch and were addressed quickly. What matters is how Toyota responded, with urgency, and what the updated production vehicles have shown since: improved stability, consistent charging behavior, low, high-voltage system complaint rates. Toyota has been building hybrid systems since the late 1990s. They know electrification. The bZ4X is the next step in that lineage, and the long-term ownership data is starting to reflect it. Number 1. Lexus RZ 450e. If you want to understand why the Lexus RZ sits at the top of this list, you need to understand what Lexus actually is. It's Toyota's premium engineering division, operating with even tighter quality thresholds and longer development cycles than its parent brand. Lexus consistently ranks among the most reliable automotive brands on the planet, year after year across every major consumer reliability study. That reputation doesn't happen by marketing. It happens by engineering vehicles that fail at an exceptionally low rate over an exceptionally long period. The RZ450e carries that DNA into the EV segment with a carefully engineered battery management system built on decades of electrification experience from Toyota's hybrid platforms. The power electronics have been redefined through years of hybrid and plug-in hybrid development before making their way into a fully electric platform. That experience gap between Lexus and many of its EV competitors is real, and it shows up in the failure rate data. Electronics reliability on the RZ is among the highest in the EV segment. Thermal management is handled conservatively, keeping the battery operating in optimal conditions across both hot and cold climates. And the ownership experience reflects it. Buyers report a vehicle that requires almost no unplanned attention. The 2026 RZ lineup offers 3 powertrain configurations: the 350e front-wheel drive at 221 horsepower and an estimated 301 miles of range, the 450e AWD at 308 horsepower, and the new 550e F Sport AWD at 420 horsepower with a 4.1 second 0 to 60 time. Starting at $47,925, it sits at a premium. But when you factor in total cost of ownership, low unplanned repair rates, and strong long-term durability, the math often works out. The RZ prioritizes dependability over chasing platform headlines. In a segment where too many manufacturers are still learning how to build reliable EVs, that focus is extremely why it leads this list. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. There's more real-world EV content coming that could save you serious money on your next purchase. What this means for EV buyers in 2026. Here's the pattern hiding in plain sight across all 6 of these vehicles: conservative battery management, refined production cycles, stable software ecosystems, and engineering that prioritizes durability over spec sheet numbers. The EV market in 2026 is maturing fast. The early adopter phase is over. Buyers now have long-term ownership data to separate the vehicles that age well from the ones that don't. And the data keeps pointing back to the same traits: restrained chemistry tuning, fewer unnecessary electronic layers, and manufacturers who took their time getting it right rather than rushing to the market. Reliability in EVs isn't about which brand spent the most on a marketing campaign or launched the flashiest new feature. It's about what happens at 80,000 miles when the warranty is fading and the repair costs are coming out of your pocket. The 6 EVs on this list are the ones that data says you can trust past that point. So here's the bottom line. EV technology doesn't move the way most industries do. It builds quietly, then accelerates in ways that surprise even people who are paying attention. Charging that used to take an hour now takes 20 minutes on mainstream hardware. Batteries built around lower cost, longer lasting chemistry are showing up at price points that used to mean compromise. Software updates improve your car after you buy it. And your EV is beginning to interact with your home and the grid in ways that didn't exist as a consumer product 2 years ago. Drop a comment below. Which one surprised you most? And which one are you seriously considering? Hit subscribe if this helped you cut through the noise. More real-world EV content is coming that could save you from an expensive mistake.